Can you believe this fucking guy?
Yeah. Look at some people these days. You're all over.
We need to make a photo. It's like Jonny. Jonny is Winnie the Pooh, and you is Piglet, and I'll be the rabbit. And we just have a big tub of poo.
Welcome back to
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Show Me Yours with Jackie and Johnny, everybody.
I'm Jackie Agnew.
And I'm Johnny DeVito. Now that we have you here,
Yeah.
let's do the business.
Yeah,
Like and subscribe.
like-
Jesus Christ, Jackie. This is the best opening ever.
Yeah. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, give us a 5-star review if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And share us with your friends and enemies.
Yeah.
Share us on your story. And
More
yeah.
importantly, if you want to see us live and you're in the Vancouver area, come down to King's Head Pub every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now it's done for the comedy ring and anything Thai related.
Yeah,
Of course, you.
Yeah. Hit us up. Go check us out online, and they'll have all of our shows. So the comedy ring on Instagram. You can find everything on there for all of our spots and all of our shows.
Nice.
Yeah.
And all of those links will be in the description.
So you think that was a 5-star
well.
intro to this
I
episode, or what?
think I nailed it.
Right on.
I was gonna go like, and this is producer Tyler's gonna go, welcome everybody. It's so good to see your faces.
yeah. Just Ty's going to do all the intros now.
That's the whole thing. Is he's gonna slowly just take over the show, like as it is. It's just gonna be
But
Show
I'm
Me
still
Yours
gonna
with
use
Ty.
the what and why as you were doing off the top. Welcome to the Show Me Yours podcast.
We got to change up the intro now.
We do,
too.
yeah, exactly. Show Me Yours
yeah.
with Jackie and Johnny. I mean, like, it's funny that we talk about all of this on the show and
Yeah.
never in pre-production. So
Oh, yeah.
I
There's
think
no
we're gonna move
pre-production
forward
meetings.
for that.
Yeah, moving right along. We got a fucking great album to discuss. Yeah,
I'm so pumped for this album.
I'm so fucking stoked about it. Unlike last week's, I loved this.
Jackie catching a little smoke online.
Yeah.
Catching a little bit of heat online there.
And as she should, I feel like it's not up to me to argue with your opinions and stuff like that, but it
Right.
is very good to see that my feelings were echoed.
Right. Can I just say quickly that this was the first time I had ever said anything even remotely negative about an album, whereas every fucking album I bring in.
Yeah, it wasn't
Johnny-
even that negative. You just said
Yeah,
it's
right?
not
I just
for
said
me.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I think that I'm
People
just
were like so fucking cheese. But you could tell how cheese people were though. It was like the type of album that it was, because it was such a controversial hardcore album. A lot of people didn't chime in that they probably would have.
Exactly.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I shit talked this album too when it came out. It's good.
I think, well, because I will be completely honest with you. Like, I think that that record did kind of take a minute to grow on me. I think it's like everybody that kind of gets into like heavier and heavier music as kind of like it progresses towards like the extreme or something. Nobody just starts with Converge.
Yeah.
You have to kind of like build up to that.
Yeah.
And so it's all good.
Yeah.
I think I just love so much, right? So like I just want to
Yeah.
share everything with you, and when I'm so passionate about something that's so not for you, then I just have to like bang it against the wall even harder.
Right.
And that's probably not a good tactic.
Yeah. But again, the first time that has ever happened.
Oh, I've said some
and
negative stuff
I'm the
about
devil.
records.
But yeah.
Hey, wait. Hold on. What's with the southern shit today? What? Fucking Jackie saying what? You're whipping that out like you're fucking,
I'm a
hot
preacher.
today, hot yesterday too. What is happening?
I'm a southern preacher, and You gave me.
I do declare this Ween album is going to be spectacular.
Well, you were nice enough to cook us breakfast this morning, and I'm the kind of guy that's not just gonna you gave me a piece of paper towel, and I wasn't just gonna throw it away, so I put it up my pocket because I am.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a 70-year-old man.
Really putting that bounty to the test.
It is the
Just
quicker
wringing
picker
out
upper.
his sweat. You're like,
Not
oh,
just
no.
a one and done,
Yeah.
you know. It's the quicker picker
I
up.
must
yeah.
have dabbed up 5 times already with this one piece.
Oh,
Told
my
you
God.
about our evening last night, so for me to say that I'm working through a hangover right now would be an understatement. So you're going to see a few of these.
I do declare I could have a Caesar right about now.
I feel fine.
Yes.
It's the one night that I wasn't drinking excessively, and now I'm never gonna stop talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, now that I've got my drinking under control, I really
Jackie's just doing a tour of AA meetings instead. Like, listen, you guys are a bunch of pussies, all right?
100%.
I went 6 whole hours without getting blackout.
I think being surrounded in the environment, I would definitely put that up for, I would put like a trophy, on that or whatever. For me, I could not have been around.
Oh,
in
dude,
that
6
environment.
hours clean around you is like,
yeah,
That's-
it's
yeah.
a lifetime.
Hey.
yeah, you wrote the big book.
Exactly.
It's not even just to being the so and I had a few drinks, all right, but I wasn't sober. But I was
Let's get serious.
relatively so. But being the one who's not only the one who isn't drinking that much, but the driver too. So then you're just the chauffeur for all the drunk people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a moment where Jackie looked at me saying, it's 3:30 in the morning and we have to be at Ty's at noon.
Yeah.
And it was the tone of how you said it that was like, I should probably go to my
You get why
sister's-
bus drivers are so jaded. Because that's essentially what they're doing. It's
Whatever.
just driving drunk ass motherfuckers
Totally,
around late at night.
Could you imagine if that was your job just to deal with me?
Yeah.
Just to get me where I gotta go. That sucks. Pay that guy extra. My God. But anyway, so in the interest of news, Jackie, you brought in a story today
Yeah, I got a.
that I'm fascinated about.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a hot story coming in. Steamy. A man tore his lung from masturbating, doctors say. This seems to be the first documented.
Didn't drink last night.
That's my baby.
Oh, you should hear them when I have been drinking. That was tame.
Oh yeah, she blows them in my face.
Ask for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at my
you
request,
asked
yeah.
for it.
Thank you.
He's like, there'll be a bit of spit in there somewhere.
So it seems to be the first documented case of masturbation causing this rare but usually not serious injury. So a young man's session of masturbation.
What do you call it?
A quick sesh.
Quick
Yeah,
sesh.
yeah. It's a quick sesh.
It's all good to snap one off.
Yeah, led him to spending almost a week in the hospital. In a recent case report from Switzerland, doctors detail how a 20-year-old ended up with air leaking into his chest after some seemingly innocent self-love. Fortunately, the injury wasn't severe and he recuperated just fine.
How hard do you have to be beaten
Right.
for a section of your lung to rupture and air go a different way?
Well, he's got that 20-year-old energy.
He's got the 20-year-old lung as well, so that lung
Yeah.
capacity is all, if this isn't a what do you call it, like a condition that
Pre-existing.
a pre-existing condition, then this kid is putting in work, I think, so much far and beyond what he needs to get done.
Yeah.
And I'm fascinated about this because this is something that I feel like I could happen to me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Sounds like something you want to attempt.
Yeah. It's how
Well,
have I
I'll
not
show
been
this
sent to the
Swedish
ICU?
kid.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because when it comes down to it, they said that this kind of injury is something that only happens normally from heavy physical exertion,
Right.
from asthma, and what was the third one?
I forget. We'll get to
I
it.
have
Yeah.
all three of those things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be at work or whatever, I'm gonna physically exert myself picking up something way too heavy and not asking for help.
Yeah.
I am asthmatic and I do not go to the doctor and I haven't had an inhaler for like 5 years.
But you have had cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm also an avid masturbator.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I could be at potentially at risk, for this kind of injury.
You could be.
Do you want like good parking spots now or something, Johnny?
If I can get it.
I'm just saying, I am at risk. Yeah. You need to accommodate me.
Yeah, just
100%.
in case anyone's concerned, this is about Johnny.
Fuck you guys. You stayed at home for a year to save your grandparents. Why don't you think about me? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't understand. I'm tired of shit not being about Johnny.
So according to the report published in the May issue of Radiology Case Reports, the man visited the emergency room with stabbing chest pain and trouble breathing.
Been there.
His face had also gone swollen, and doctors could hear cracking noises as he breathed in and out.
God damn.
His symptoms began while he was, quote, lying in bed and masturbating. I like that they quoted that.
Yeah. Well, it's like somebody is gonna think this is more than just like a nice lay down, love yourself kind of moment, right?
Right.
If you're gonna blow a lung, I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're on a rooftop somewhere.
Right,
You know
like
what I mean? In a
he's
precarious condition,
heaving
definitely
in and
standing
out.
up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing
Yeah.
everything that you can to chuck a skate lace as far as you can into the ether. But what this young man is doing, I mean, I think what do you think is just like insane circumstances, 1 in a million, or
Right.
is he at risk for this to happen again?
Yeah,
Could every time
exactly.
this kid comes,
He's going to
He's
be
potentially at
traumatized.
risk.
Oh, like
now.
he can just go less and less now? Yeah. He's only got a certain amount of comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
But
gotta be
yeah,
careful
like
about
how
that shit.
fucking hard was he going? Like
That's
if
what
he-
I mean, though. Like,
Yeah.
when you develop like some sort of like mark on your dick from just tugging your dick so
Yeah.
hard for
Right?
that long before
Yeah.
your lungs give out on
Yeah.
you, like you just
Yeah,
tore a
dude.
lung. You wouldn't be
Like-
like, oh, my dick hurts because like I got because I've just been jerking it so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
Shout
yeah.
out to Ironcock over here. Because
Right?
You're absolutely right. You would pull that thing off if you.
Or like
fucking
how much that
lungs
guy's
were
spending
ruptured.
on
Yeah.
lube? Like, is he just dipping his whole penis?
Yeah,
Like,
right.
like, yeah,
Like
it's-
how lubricated.
Well,
was
he's
it?
got to
Yeah.
be a dry guy because nobody could put yourself to that like level of exertion and completion. Like this isn't for self love at that point, right? This is
for self hate.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
This man does not love himself.
No. And I mean, literally beating it to the next level, right? Like if you're gonna beat the shit out of yourself like that, you try. I mean,
Just
self care is
20.
important. He's 20 years
Just
old.
20 years old, just
Yeah.
fucking giving
I
it.
mean, like, props to him for telling the doctors
Yeah.
what he was doing, too.
Oh yeah, that's like,
yeah.
especially when you find out like it's gonna be okay. No one's died of this. I'd be like, oh yeah, weird. I don't know, must be my asthma.
Yeah, I was on
Like,
a
you know, now
walk.
that I think about it, Doc, I have been jerking off all day. And night.
Yeah, I do have a bit of a rash on my dick, though, unrelated.
Yeah.
But so chest scans revealed that he had something called pneumomediastinum, a condition where air circulating through the respiratory system somehow ends up escaping into the space in the chest between the two lungs. The man's air sacs were also damaged, and he required high doses of oxygen. Doctors made the decision to put him in the intensive care unit, and he was given antibiotics and acetaminophen for his pain.
What in
Yeah.
the fuck? First of all, I didn't realize that there was
ruptured?
like that your lungs are like the space in between your lungs is just like
Right.
your chest cavity. Like, isn't it like where others? I don't know anything
But
about.
I guess like
human
air,
body is what I'm just discovering right now.
right? I'm like air only goes in
Johnny,
the lungs.
there's two lungs.
The lung bone's connected to the heart bone, right? Is that?
Yeah, it's the largest bone in your body. So.
So like air can't go outside of your lungs.
Well, no, because if you introduce like air into like your bloodstream and stuff like that, then like
That's bad
that will
news.
follow back into your
Oh.
heart and you will die. You know what I mean? So like if like air is only supposed to be
Right.
in certain places, right? Same thing like with poop. If you rupture your intestines and you can get septic, right? So poop is
I
not-
mean, yeah.
I thought you were gonna go. It's not supposed to be in your mouth.
Did you know poop actually isn't
Yeah.
supposed to be?
Yeah. Did you know you're not supposed to eat poo?
I mean, according to some leading medical
Yeah.
professionals, it's kind of like a one-way track system or whatever. So you could technically eat your own poo. Eating somebody else's might be potentially dangerous.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I think probably just refrain from all shit eating.
We're not gonna like these are people, Jackie, and they're pioneers. They share the spirit. They could do whatever they want. We don't kink shame on this show.
Not trying to yuck your yum over here, dude. Can you fucking eat all the poo you want?
Fucking
Gang.
This is a slight tangent, but one time Lou Albany, who the viewers know, he was over at our place and we were talking about kinks, and he was like, yeah, like I don't get like poo stuff, and I guess there was like half a second where we didn't respond, and he immediately was like, I mean, if that's your thing, then
Kind of looked at each other like,
no.
Yeah. Lou hasn't been over in a while.
Yeah. Weirdly enough,
Definitely.
Lou hasn't come over since then.
I think farts are funny. I don't think poops are sexy.
No, yeah, I think keep that shit where it belongs.
Totally.
Inside your butthole.
Yeah.
Inside your butthole.
I made
and
eye contact
outside.
with Jackie the other day, and I looked like right in her eyes. Was laying on the side of the bed, and I propped my leg up because like I knew that I had something that was gonna happen, and I cracked off the gnarliest fart that like I've ever done, and she like it was impressive, right?
Yeah, because I was like going to bed, and he like decided to do this big romantic gesture where he carried me upstairs.
Oh, yeah,
but then I forgot my phone and my water bottle, so he carried me back downstairs and then had to take a breather for a minute and then carried me back up.
Cigarette smoker.
And we were sitting on the bed and I was really tired and we were just like having like a tender moment. And then, he lifts up his leg and fucking cracks one off.
I do like how you had to take the break at the bottom of the stairs. Like, sorry, I've been jerking off a lot today.
Yeah. So, Pneumomediastinum can be caused by physical trauma to the lungs or esophagus. It can also spontaneously arise when a sudden increase in pressure within the chest cavity causes a tear in certain lung membranes, allowing air to leak out. This kind of injury is more likely to happen in young men, and known triggers include an acute asthma attack, strenuous exercise, or violent vomiting.
Oh yeah, I do that too, at least once a week.
That's it. I just don't get it. Like, how does this dude come? Like,
Right?
Like,
Right? Like strenuous physical activity. Like that's a really violent masturbation sesh.
Somebody told me when I was a kid one time that like if you like tense up like your legs and stuff like that, then like it feels better. Like as soon as like you're busting or whatever, then it's like this. It was this thing that I kind of had to like get out of my head.
Right.
Because like once you like work it in.
that's just foot cramp city.
Yeah, dude. It
That's
really
all
is.
you're asking for,
Bro,
That's all you're asking for at that
cramps
point.
in the back, man. Oh, I'm going to bed, right? But like then you realize you're like, why am I putting myself through like this like so much like strenuous effort just to feel like a little bit better?
Yeah,
You know what I mean, right?
yeah.
But,
When it's like already like feels pretty good.
Well, yeah, but I'm a fucking animal. So like next time, like if you put like 2 knuckles deep in your butthole, then it's a totally different. That feels good too. You know what I mean? Right? I'm just saying, there's always ways that you can elevate. You know what I mean? Like the male orgasm, right? Which is kind of lackluster.
Just the male orgasm.
Yes, we don't care about yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is a thing I think that's common amongst men or whatever. Is they're going to push
Right.
the boundary so much more than women would.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Trying to get to that next level. Now,
That's the best shit ever, actually, Jackie. We're just like, we're so like, how can we make ourselves come better? Sure, the number one complaint is that women don't come. We're like, yeah. Listen, we're gonna figure out how to make ours better first before we
It's mine
look at all
pretty
that.
great already, but
Yeah.
how can I elevate this?
you know what, you can.
Love it.
I'm not just a regular guy that puts a fucking plate of food, okay? I want to elevate the ingredients. I want to take this experience to the next level. So maybe, I might be a weirdo or whatever, but I'm also, willing to throw my hat over the wall for the greater good and try something a little bit different.
Right.
Now,
Such
with
as
this-
eating poo.
Oh, hear me out.
I'm just saying.
I
get it.
Shit
Not
all
saying
over
I'm
his
into it.
face.
Fucking Winnie the Pooh.
You gotta get on the inside. Just getting every last bit of poo out of the
He's also just wearing a shirt and no pants. Dude.
Just starts
how
calling
you
you
find
Piglet for no reason. No, Piglet.
I think I should be clear for the viewers that I've never really experienced any poo eating or any poo play. But
don't shifty eyes right after you say it. I've never experienced any poo play.
who hasn't had some butt stuff that, like, you know what I mean? Somebody hasn't done the proper, you know, precautions or whatever leading up to that, right? So definitely there's been like some poo around. But when that comes, you're like, whoa, we need to stop and clean up because like that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oof. This is different. Jesus Christ. In defense of
all right, Winnie.
You're gonna find me with my head stuck in a toilet like his head's in a fucking tree.
Won't you guys be my new friend, Eeyore?
Yeah, exactly.
The man only had a history of mild asthma and denied any other known risk factors. So near as the doctors could tell, his masturbation had to be the culprit. When the doctors looked through the medical literature, they did find a few reports of this injury brought on by sex, but this seems to be the first documented instance of self-love being to blame.
This is the first loser who ever did it by himself.
See, but I don't like how quickly those doctors just gave up on every other possibility. I don't know. He's like, I don't know. It's probably from him jerking off. What do you guys think? Just call it a day. It's lunchtime. Jerking off? It's jerk off. Okay. Let's go to the cafeteria.
They're all standing around his bed in the ICU. Has this ever happened before? I mean, sex, sure.
Yeah, people fucking, of course. But this fucking week? Jesus. We're in Switzerland. People are into some kinky shit over here, right? This guy's just jerking off and collapsing lungs like it's nowhere.
Since there is no literature on spontaneous pneumomediastinum associated with autoerotic experiences, we consider our case an unusual presentation of this entity, they wrote. Scary as the symptoms can be, it's usually a condition that clears up on its own without the need for specialized treatment. Following an overnight stay in the ICU, the man was transferred out with no issues, and he was discharged from the hospital after 4 days.
Don't like how they say discharge at the end of that. They think I'm going to discharge. I'm going to go discharge a little more.
That's what got me in here.
Yeah. I got discharged to get enlisted.
I think I'm
I
done
got
with
enlisted to get discharged. A vicious cycle.
Do you think it's like got to be a feather in his cap or something like that? Because in the world of like of young men's sexual conquest, it's like the best thing to do is to brag to your friends about like how crazy some shit like you've done, right?
Right.
You don't know about bragging about jerking off.
Right.
Yeah.
I jerked off so hard that I burst my lung.
Yeah.
If this kid doesn't go and do an open mic, like he's got at least 5 just built into this. Like, I mean, come on, right? Like,
in my defense, I have mild asthma. So.
And the sheer determination to come above all other, bodily functions, right? If you're gonna put like your nut above breathing, then.
Well, that's the thing.
He's a hero. He's a hero.
Really is.
He's a hero.
Really
yeah.
Because he had to have been breathing pretty hard for a while there before and he didn't stop. Like that would have been a significant amount of discomfort.
Absolutely. Where do you go from
there?
How do you elevate?
If you're laying in bed,
You gotta kill yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, okay, so put yourself there, Ty. Okay, you got a belly button full. Right? You're hanging out, you're laying down, and you're like, holy shit, do I have to go to the fucking hospital now?
Yeah.
At what point do you like...
Did he finish?
He has to have finished.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He certainly had to.
Unless that pop happened and he's like halfway through and then kind of keeled over or something and was like, I got to get to the hospital.
Yeah.
Do you call the ambulance and do you tug while you're waiting?
Well, do you feel like at that point it would take you out of it though? If you're like, I might have to go to the hospital.
I feel like this guy's gonna need a little more to take him out.
Yeah, that's
I think so.
He's pretty deep into it.
That's the thing, and especially to go and be upfront and tell them exactly how it happened, right? Like this is like it's dry snitching in the best way possible because like you can get like Ty, have you ever been caught masturbating?
Yes.
Do you care to tell the story?
No, I was like, my mom came in when I was like, yeah, like kidding, but I was like one of those like it was one of those like not full like it was like you clearly caught me jerking off.
Yes,
Mom, right,
yeah.
but like we're gonna pretend like this didn't happen at all, and we I was just like and I was like, oh, I like this. It was terrible. Yeah, it was just like, you did not put your shit away fast enough. And I think my mom was just too nice to be like,
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay, we'll never speak of this again.
Yes. Okay.
Right, right.
Okay.
How old were you?
Huh?
How old were you?
I'm gonna say like
28.
yeah. Just 2 weeks ago at work. I have a private office.
Knock. The
Yeah.
sign says knock.
Hello, yeah. Occupado.
Somebody's
Madre.
in here.
I don't know, it must have been like 13, 12,
Right,
13.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appropriate. Jackie, have you ever been caught masturbating?
No.
Oh,
no,
fun.
I keep that shit on the low.
That's fair. I've been caught not masturbating. My brother did a fucking sting opera. Like, it was this crazy frame job. Do you guys want to hear the fucking like something that just like that's haunted my fucking life?
Please.
So I catch my brother masturbating, right? And it was hilarious because I think he was just my stepdad at the time was like a woodworker, and my brother went on to be a carpenter, which is really funny too. So there's like these like woodworking magazines or whatever that were just next to the toilet, and I think he just had it like in his hand or whatever, just to block off or whatever if anybody was gonna bust through the door, right?
Right.
So when I bust through the door, I'm like, "Holy shit, man, you're jerking off!" He's like, "No, I'm not."
I'm reading about
So
woodworking.
he was so embarrassed about that the next time that I was in the bathroom, my mom was there. Richie burst open the door and is like, "Johnny's jerking off to Archie magazines." And I'm just like sitting on the toilet like, no, I'm not. I'm sitting right here. And then he told my mom. My mom starts laughing at me and stuff. And I'm like, I've been caught for some fucked up shit. And I
Yeah.
own everything. You've seen my act.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
fucking shit was not the way it went down.
That's the worst.
Dude.
Yeah.
He fucking framed me. And
Yeah.
then to the point where like my dad was all pretty. He's like, "Betty and Veronica, lesbianic action. It sounds like a good beat, right?" And he's like, it's okay, kid. And I'm like, I fucking didn't do it.
Yeah, I was reading about
Johnny's
woodworking.
like, I'll fucking show you guys right now.
I was fucking
yeah,
framed.
yeah, I'll show you what it looks like when I fucking masturbate.
Totally. I had a penthouse from 1975 under my mattress. I think I'm jerking off to Betty and Veronica.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, it was the best.
Is that your first like magazine?
Yeah. No. The first magazine was we found a crate of them next to the dump in the woods.
Yeah, always in the woods, right?
Always
Yeah.
in the woods. And I saw, oh man, I'll never forget. 'Cause I was like way too young to be seeing any of that thing, right? And then I saw this like tall drink of water, this fucking just beautiful dark-haired woman with like black like lingerie and stuff like that. Everything that I love now, and a cock on her, like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah,
And I was like,
everything that you
whoa.
love now. Yeah.
Yeah, like, fantastic.
That's-
I'll always remember that image being like, what the fuck? I don't not like that.
My first porn magazine found at the like elementary school that I went to, like in the forest there, was called Nugget. And it was just
That's
big
I know
biker
Swank Club
chicks.
60
It was just
there
big
was-
biker chicks. That's all it was.
Really?
Just like big biker women. And I was like,
that's
and when you're a kid, you don't know because you
Nugget.
hear about porn.
course.
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
know. But
Yeah.
as you hear about it, like, the fifth graders are talking about it like it's the greatest thing that they've ever seen.
And you
So you're
stumble
like-
upon Nugget.
You're like, this is the greatest thing that anyone's ever seen. I don't know how I feel about that.
That's crazy.
amazing.
Because the first porn that you want to see like should be awesome, but you might have been that might have been the best thing that ever happened to you that didn't turn you into a fucking freak. Like,
yeah.
Don't go in my closet.
all right, we call them company tools, Ty. We got a whole tool chest full.
Tool chest, yeah. Fucking the whole joke fucking before we moved in is that we were gonna get a company chair, and then people come over, they're like, "Oh, that's the company chair." They go to sit down, "Oh, that's not for company."
We take it seriously.
Yeah.
We really do. But I think the oh yeah, now I'm starting to remember there was one page of
Yeah, dude,
there was
here we
one
go.
page
Going
floating
down
around in
Jerk
grade
Lane
6.
here.
Totally. This is the first time that I pretended that I was, or maybe I don't know if I was sick or whatever, but I was in the nurse's office in the school for like way too long. And I had this folded up one page in my pocket that was going around
that's
to
a
like all his
tight
friends.
move.
Dude, it was the
You
shit.
get the
and
creases.
you know the
Oh,
creases.
You can't fold over the titties.
Exactly.
That old magazine paper we got. Yeah.
It was basically just like both sides, just a lesbian scene and two blonde women, and it was so graphically described. You know what I mean? 'Cause the way, like whoever was writing for porn magazines back then or whatever, it's like I pulled her panties down and like the heat wafted off her. I remember like a crazy shit like that. Or
Fiery winter night.
Yeah, right.
It's so funny. That's such like I think that's still a thing with like romance novels and stuff.
Oh,
It's
the
just like
smut novels?
softcore
Oh,
porn.
hell yeah, dude.
yeah. It's
Hell
such
yeah.
like an interesting genre to get into.
Yeah.
Do you think I could write a trash romantic novel?
Definitely.
Yes.
I think I should.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Should
It
we
would
all
be
write
gross.
one and then read them on the podcast?
Yes. Yes. We'll start with paragraph. We'll start with a paragraph for next week. Everybody has homework.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
all
And we'll
write
just
the
keep
most
adding to
of-
the story.
Yes.
Okay,
So
dope.
We all do a paragraph and then we pass them around and we each take each other's home and add
Yeah.
another paragraph
Done.
to it.
Fuck
yeah.
Done.
Oh, this is awesome. So I mean, this kid, obviously a hero. I mean, he sparked nothing but creativity and joy in our lives.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean,
Good
right?
on
And
this guy.
I'm not
Hats off to you.
totally. I'm not making
Dicks
fun of
off
him at
to
all.
you.
So yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe next time, get a friend to tug it for you. You know, do something,
Yeah.
right? Like
I
maybe.
think that might be the problem.
Do you
in the
think he's a
first-
fat guy?
yeah, I think-
Do you? Oh, what is
Well.
the physical condition?
yeah,
of this
we
fella?
need a photograph of this man.
Fuck, we need to do more
I
research.
wonder they didn't even include his name.
Man,
That's client confidentiality. It's like, they didn't even put this loser on blast.
Fucking
Hey,
give us his
hey,
address.
yeah. Look
SIN
at this
number.
Swedish dweeb jerking it till his lung fucking blows up.
I wonder if like he just like came right out and admitted it, or if they had to like kind of probe him and like question him.
Not the best adjective.
As soon as I said
Just
it,
had to probe him. Yeah.
but if they had to like kind of work it out of him, you know, and like kept digging,
Yeah,
you like,
yeah.
so
I
what
kind of feel like I feel like he just said it off the top, and it was kind of weird. Like the doctors were like, "Oh, that was a weird thing to mention," and then at the end of it, they just chalk it up to that.
Yeah, so I guess it was the
right,
masturbating
Ellen.
thing because he keeps bringing it up.
this kid won't stop
Yeah,
talking
but
about
this
tugging.
He said, "Trust me, it was
Guy ever shut
masturbating."
up, man.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Just blame it on his fetish and discharge him already.
They're all like fighting over who had to like go give him his meds. They're like, I don't want to fucking go in the room with that
Yeah.
guy.
Oh, he won't shut up about
Like
it.
every time he walks into the room, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
You just see the bed.
Seriously, man. That's why he was in the ICU for a week.
Yeah.
I will strap your fucking arms down to that
They had
bed.
to put in the restraints on him. But yeah, true a hero, and you know, just good cautionary tale
Absolutely.
for the
Absolutely.
kids.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, just like be careful, right? We've said it time and time again on this podcast. Like if you're gonna jerk yourself off, and like choke yourself, have a spotter, do something safe, right? Don't overexert yourself. You know what I mean? We're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy, you know, the parks and wildlife services, right? You don't want to deplete
Yeah.
the resource.
Yeah, no.
Don't go fishing without a license.
Yeah, not unless it's bass season. Don't. Yeah. That's the only riff I could think of related to Northwood's Law.
It's the greatest
Like,
show.
the bass season.
Oh, the big mouth bass are an invasive species, and they need to be wiped out of the lakes. You don't need a license for them. It's good fishing.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyways, is this a music podcast? Were you
Smooth
talking-
transition. Yeah. From one sesh to another.
Yeah.
I think
guys
that's why I didn't like the session thing. They called it a session because like that was just like, was he trying to learn kickflip back
Yeah,
tails?
exactly.
Session was definitely the word that he used to describe it.
Yeah, 100%. It was just a quick jerk sesh.
Yeah, so I was in the middle of the session.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Usually referred to like the only time I've ever talked about a session is smoking weed or skateboarding or something like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
sesh.
I think it's awesome.
yeah.
I wanted to snap one off this morning. I snuck down for a little sesh. I didn't think we had the time.
A little sesh.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I
In
was
the company
showering.
chair.
Yeah, in the company chair. Yeah. I was doing research for this podcast.
Nice.
But yeah, shall we dig in?
Shall we dig? Yeah, I'm very excited actually. And this one, this is our fantastic new producer Ty brought in a fucking album by a band that I'm very familiar with and very fond of, but not a record that I'd listened to before. So Ty,
Yeah.
take it away. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, man. So I thought we would go over Ween's Chocolate and Cheese, 1994 release. super lo-fi, about as lo-fi as you can get, and it's Mickey Michiano and Aaron Freeman just are Gene and Dean Ween at really laying down the entire, for me, like the foundation of what to expect out of a Ween album, and that's everything. Expect absolutely everything. Expect just the craziest shit, amazing guitar solos. The songwriting is fucking amazing, and the amount of different styles that are. I mean, other than the Country Greats album, every other album is just like, oh, it's just fucking wild. Here's this weird, like, there's this crazy soulful shit like Freedom of 76, and then he goes over to like some weird Balkan shit of like, can't put my finger on it.
Well, I mean, and then over to like what is Buenos Noches?
Buenos Aires,
Like, I mean, that fucking shit is amazing, and like they can have so much goddamn fun and do anything that they want that it would be. If I was in any other band, I'd be jealous of Ween, because everybody else is like pigeonholed themselves like into or back themselves into whatever corner or do whatever they they want to do. But fuck, man, this is the only band that I feel can do anything and like almost like no wrong. Which is
they're just crazy. So good at every style that they do. It's like Ween does have there's a lot of tracks that are like, I think if you first, I find Ween's like sushi to me. Like if someone's never had sushi, right, you're just like, oh, have a little bit of, have a cucumber roll.
Totally.
Don't fuck with some sashimi right away or whatever, right?
That's a really good way to say it.
Sure. It's just like, okay, you can give them
piss up a rope, give them like,
give them Freedom of 76, give them like fucking whatever, right? And then you can get into like HIV and like some other shit, right? When you start eating some fucking, start putting poo in your mouth.
Work up to it then.
It's just gonna end up being that, Jackie. It's gonna go. We won't even say anything. Oh man,
looking forward to that.
Yeah, and definitely a band that I didn't get into till much later on in my music, like probably like until I was in like music school. Ween was always one of these bands, like kind of like Primus, where like I assumed, because of the name, that they were like some metal band, or something like that. So I was like, I don't like. I just didn't listen to a ton of metal, so I was like, I don't fuck with it necessarily. And then my friend Connor Mack, shout out to Connor Mack, really great guitar player and lo-fi recorder here in the city. And he showed me them, and it blew my fucking mind. Because like, oh wow, these guys are doing all this with like a really bad drum machine.
Totally. Well, like the thing that this is their first album in an actual studio is crazy to me to think that Pure Guava, the album that came out right before it, which is one that I'm definitely more familiar than this one, that was made in a fucking garage.
Yeah.
With a drum machine. Like the for those two guys to take over every, like all the instrumentation and when I put that when I like Don't Get Too Close to My Fantasy is recorded in a fucking garage, then like imagine what these guys could do with with any even 50 cents behind them. Right, because I think that they've like proved it time and time again.
It's crazy. I don't think I even really noticed the quality of it, just because the music is so good.
It's songs are so well written that it's like you don't like really notice a lot, and that just goes to show it's like if it's like it's that case if you give a photographer like a Polaroid camera and just a regular Joe a really nice camera, it's like the photographer with the Polaroid camera is going to take a better photo.
Totally.
10 times out of 10. Like
absolutely.
So it's like the equipment wise, it's cool to have all that stuff, but it's like if you don't fucking have the skills, and like Gene Ween is one of like his singing is insane. It's got an amazing falsetto. He does all these voices and shit like that. Stuff just would not like fly. Like he just sounds like a Turkish guy at one point. Like it's just like hilarious.
There's no way anybody could get away with this.
Like putting accents on shit, right?
Totally.
And then Dean is like, I don't know. I'm gonna say like one of the most underrated guitar players out there. Like it's insane how good that guy is at guitar. Like very like the song for Eddie. And that's just like a great tribute to Eddie Hazel and of Parliament Funkadelic, who's like one of the greatest guitar players of all time. And it's like he's so fucking good at guitar. Dean is so goddamn good, and they're just so chill. He's like, there's like whatever. Like they just wear like jeans and t-shirts on stage, and they're they just make all these fucking crazy songs. It's a fantastic album. It's great. They add the art cover for it, just like that belt with the Ween belt.
I think they wanted like
under tit.
I just read something that they wanted it to be like I don't know, like gay sex or whatever on the cover, and the record label just wasn't going for it. And apparently that photo was taken and they never even met the girl, or like, what I mean? Something like that. Just record label shit or whatever. But it's like it's an iconic album cover, even if like I knew that it exists, just not even like diving into it, but just like if you know music or whatever, then you kind of, Ween exists, but like you said, not everybody is a Primus fan or whatever, right? And Pork Soda is not the most accessible fucking record for everybody to listen to.
For sure.
But once you do kind of crack into it, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Like,
and it's a whole world that you're like kind of like, it blew my mind when I was like, what is this band? How many albums do they have? And like every album is like so fucking crazy.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
Do you think like with they're kind of like a musicians kind of band? Do you know, like?
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
Do you ever listen to like fucking like Frank Zappa and stuff like that?
I love it. Yeah, that's like all I listened to in college and stuff like that. Was like, yeah, I was big on Zappa.
I think that, or like even like Fish, or like jam bandy stuff. I think like if you're not a musician,
it's so weird. I don't fuck with Fish.
Fair enough. Fair
but
enough.
I do fuck with it, and I think it's because it's like it's a little more. I like the structured, whatever shit or whatever that. And Ween's kind of a bit of a combo because like their live shit is insane. Like their live concerts are. I think they got like a really good one in Chicago, and it's like. I'm
gonna start looking it up because
they're playing is so fucking good. Like,
but varied too, right? Do they go and do like a whole record? Or like, I mean, when they do a Ween cover night at a bar in town here,
and they get
and 3 different bands show up to do like 3 different Ween. You know what I mean?
Like eras of Ween, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And they've always been good about like. I mean, it's basically been like the 2 of them the whole time, and then like their drum. I always forget their. I had the drummer's name down somewhere. I can't remember, but they've had the same drummer like this whole time.
Right.
It's crazy. But then the players that they get, like even when they did their Country Greats album, it's like they hired like the best dudes in Nashville to fucking play pedal steel and shit, and it's like, that's like this album.
Just doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's just so impressive, like the range of it, and it's like I knew Ween before, like I had heard Ween songs, but I'd never like gotten into an album. And so I kind of like knew what to expect. Like I knew it was going to be like kind of all over the place. But this album was like so immediately, I was like, oh, I really like this.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Jonny, I think it's like kind of like the perfect album for me because I don't listen to music like by genre. Like all of my playlists, they're just all over the place because I can
it's
never
fucking
like
chaos.
decide. Yeah. So it's like,
I can't handle it.
He hates it. Yeah. But so then listening to it, I was like, oh, this is like the perfect shit for me because it's like a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
like
but somehow still flows, which I don't. That just doesn't make sense to me. I was like, how do you have spinal meningitis and then fucking, then Freedom of 76, and it's like on the same album, close to each other on the album, and it's like, no, this works, and it's like it's just so smooth.
It really does. I think that'd be jarring for like any other, anybody else to try to do that, or maybe they exist and it's just, I don't know them off the top of my head or whatever, but I think that like those are the reasons that I love, you know what I mean, albums. That's that band piece of work, and especially genre specific albums, you know what I mean, like I love staying in that pocket. But fuck, man, you know what I mean, when you listen to this, like you're absolutely right, you just have to give it up if you're that talented. And you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean, right? Like make anything that you want.
Yeah, and like we said, like the music is so fucking good. Like it's not like they're just like doing a little bit of everything and it's kind of like meh at everything. It's like every fucking thing they do is so like good.
Yeah. You can do that and then still be like obnoxious and funny
and
stuff.
Still
and
funny.
That's the other thing about Ween is they're fucking, it's fun. It's like the albums are hilarious. Right? And it's like, and it does have the very, especially like lyrically wise, a very Zappa-like feel where like Zappa hated lyrics. That's why they were so absurd. He was just like, oh, they're just dumb to have. Like, why would you put songs or words to songs, which is like, crazy coming from a punk rock world. I'm like, I don't fully agree with that, but hey man, those words meant a lot.
We kind of live my life, but
even his words meant. I'm like, ooh, the yellow snow, right? But yeah, he's got songs about just pissing on snow, like it's fucking amazing. And then we just also, we were going out over earlier. It's just Bananas and Blow, and it's like the whole everything that they've named is hilarious. It's so fucking funny, man. But their way to adapt. Style-wise is like super crazy because like even like within Dean's guitar playing is like the chords that he uses on like like Can't Put My Finger on It or what that is super like Baltic style chords. There's these weird, and he uses like these like harmonic minor scales when he's playing that. But then he just goes and plays like a total pentatonic, soulful thing on Freedom, and it's like, or he has like, these seventh like jazzy ass chords that are like, and he's so good at both of those things, and it's
and
like
for a guy like you that like, so I mean, for the layman or whatever, was that like a specific style that takes years to even master one of those
most
things?
people are like they're good at that.
Yeah.
Or they're good at that. And it's
Yeah.
like he just fucking rips no matter what style it is.
Yeah,
He's like
yeah.
unbelievable at every style. Like he literally, like the song for Eddie is just like, it's basically like Mega Brain by Parliament.
Yeah.
It's just that's kind of the whole vibe, and it's like, yeah, that's, you could have swore this was Eddie Hazel playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and then it's like, and then Spinal Meningitis just has like the fucking craziest, fuzziest wah solo you've ever fucking heard.
Yeah.
And then songs like Jonny on the Spot, where it's like, it's just a country fucking like super flat picking, like, oh man, and he's so good at every style. It's unbelievable. It's
like,
fucking fast. It's like, it's both encouraging and just like, why do I play guitar?
Yeah.
At the same time,
So,
what is the point?
hell yeah.
It's so impressive, just like even just like as like an artist, like in general, to see some like them push themselves in every direction, you know. It'd be like if like seeing like a comic doing every fucking style of comedy, but doing it all so well, you know.
Totally.
And like being able to to like push yourself in all these directions, but do it all really fucking well.
What's the deal with motherfuckers ain't shit, man? What? What is this guy doing?
Go to the crowd work. He's telling me to try the feel. Like, how many eras can you go in? Can you go in and
Please
master
welcome
without it
Richard
being a hat?
Seinfeld. What's the deal with lighting your fire on fire from crack?
This Jew is crazy.
Nice. Oh my god, that is the shit.
Yeah, but yeah, and I can't imagine too, like, as I don't know how to play any instrument, so everything is impressive to me, but yeah, like as like a musician too, seeing someone that can just like do every fucking genre at like the highest level too.
And so good. And then like bands like Ween get you into like some crazy shit too, because you're like, oh, what? Like you start reading shit, like, oh, how did they write? It's like, oh, they were listening to this, these weird Balkan bands, and it's like, yeah, that's how they got influenced by this. So then you can start checking out all that shit. So just from one album, you just get to get all these different little fucking nuggets and stuff. It's so good.
And in so many different directions that like I would probably never find on my own. I mean, the music that I love, I love it. It's very specific to itself, and like that branch will kind of will extend, especially for like punk or hip hop or whatever, but really just to other areas of the genre. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to do it like this, or like, you know what I mean? From ska or hardcore, whatever, right? Like, so there's not a whole lot of like discovery outside of the thing that I already like, right? I mean, for a kid like you to get that one record, and it's literally like a like almost like a passport for to discover like
for real,
music
dude.
and shit, right?
Yeah.
For real, and
insane.
so good for like players too. It's just like, you always play along to albums,
Totally,
and like learn. That's how you learn. That's why I hate people like, I'm self-taught. I'm like, did you listen to music?
Yeah.
Then shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix taught you. Or like these people.
You can just materialize.
It's just like, I've just never seen anyone play guitar. I taught myself.
Stop
Such
it.
an
Get the
ego
fuck outta
fucking.
here.
I taught my. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Heard it here first, motherfucker.
Yeah, for
you
real, I hate
punctured
that
along
shit.
masturbating.
Yeah, likely story.
Yeah. Can you believe this fucking guy?
Look at some people these days. You're all over.
We need to make a photo. It's like Jonny. Johnny's Winnie the Poo, and you is Piglet, and I'll be the rabbit. And we just have a big tub of poo. We're making it happen.
None of us are wearing pants.
No.
This is, I mean, like, I've been trying to get this to this level for so long now, guys.
Yeah.
I say that we do it.
Just
I'm wearing a
happen
red
naturally.
shirt right now. I can make this
Prepared all of this. Somehow.
Shade of red.
engineered this whole conversation.
Yeah. Yes.
This is not just this conversation. This is I've been working at this for 3 years.
Yeah.
You don't realize this is all culminating to now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, they're gonna think I'm weird unless I convince them to do it with me.
So Ween, so is Ween? Do they still make music?
They have. It's like they've always had this. Like they break up and then they come back and then they break
Right.
up and they come back.
There's
They
like
had
one
an
of them
epic
sober.
show here. I think it was the last time they played here. Was like a huge, kind of a bit of a historic moment in
sure.
Ween.
Yeah.
Right.
Where like Gene got he was just so fucked up.
Yeah.
And they had to like Dean walked off the stage, I think, or they took Gene off the stage and Dean finished the show or something like that. But it's like there was like a big like we're done.
Oh,
now like
shit.
after that, it
That
was
happened
like,
here.
yeah, it was
Oh,
like
wow.
a fucking mess of a show.
Wow.
Yeah, well, 'cause I heard that they did split
But
up.
it's happened like
so
a
one of them
bunch of
could get their
times.
shit
Gene's
together or
like
whatever.
Gene gets fucking wild.
Okay.
yeah, and like Dean does too, but it's like not like he just like drinks or like that. But like
Yeah.
Dean runs like fishing charters out of Florida now, so you could go like I don't know if it's still the case, but there was a while where you could just go and book a fishing trip with Dean Ween, which is like absolutely. I don't
That
care
would
how
be
much
awesome.
like right, just go fucking
How many people do you think show up with guitars instead of fishing rods?
no
Like, that would be-
shit,
yeah,
right? And that must be kind of annoying for him, right? He's like,
Totally.
oh, just
Like,
pretend-
guys,
You're just
fucking-
trying to
here's
fucking
so many
fish.
fucking music
It's
nerds.
fucking bass season.
like wait,
guys.
wait for the bath. Yeah. So many dudes just pretending. Yeah. That's hilarious.
So when you find a band like this, especially as like a young musician, kind of like in college, where is there anything like comparable, or like is this one of do you think like this, like Ween kind of like stands on their own as far as bands that I think are willing to like expand and do different shit? Because knowing Ween and just being like a fan of comedy and stuff like that, that's how I found them, Piss Up a Rope and all that stuff. I was like, this is a funny band more than anything.
Yeah.
Being like a Bloodhound Gang fan, my buddy's like, if you like that band, you love this band. Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, they just did it like they really did the different shit so much more. Like
Yeah.
I've always had respect for people that Dylan goes electric.
Totally.
Totally
Yeah.
different, but it's like the same shit. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
still
yeah.
Bob
Same fucking
Dylan.
chords,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? He's not singing in some
Yeah.
Eastern accent.
Yeah.
It ain't me, babe. No, it is not me. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. Yeah.
Song for me.
Like, Bobby's getting weird.
Whoa. Bobby D.
Yeah. But they did it so much more, and I think it was like funny. But there's no denying because there's a lot of those like funny bands or like the novelty bands or whatever like that you don't really take seriously musically or musicianship wise.
Yeah.
And this is just
Bloodhound
like
Gang.
it's so undeniably good and
Yeah.
great and fucking like holy like blows your dick off guitar wise.
100%.
It's
Yeah.
insanity.
Yeah.
So it's like goddamn like. These guys don't give a fuck. Like they're just making these crazy ass songs, and they're so good at it. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just stands alone, and I don't feel like the pretension, or I think like a Ween fan is more pretentious than like Gene and Dean Ween are. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, those dudes
Yeah.
are just,
Yeah.
like,
It's a little bit of those
chilling.
kids. I mean, some cool Ween fans for sure. It's they're not like I'd say Zappa fans are more like that because
Fair
those are
enough.
like they're usually like some jazz nerds or something like
it's
that, and
they
they're
feel
very
like they know something that everybody else doesn't or something. Like, yeah.
And that's the other extreme of it, by the way. I hate people that are, I'm self-taught or whatever that, and I also hate people that are like, all you do is just talk about theory or how music works, but you
Right.
don't really play it or don't
Exactly.
ever.
Yeah, you don't
You're
experiment.
like talking about what's
Yeah.
correct in music,
Totally.
and that's also fucking shitty.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
boring
well,
as
that's
fuck.
dumb because
Totally.
it's like
Yeah.
in your head that's what you think is supposed to be correct, but you are allowed to play these other notes too.
Fuck yeah.
Right?
Well, that's the whole point of like learning all of the theory and all of the rules, so then you can like break
Kinda forget
those
about
rules.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
totally. Yeah, exactly. I think
Not
that
fucking
that goes.
preach theory to
Yeah, but that goes with like any.
Don't go
form
to
of-
music school if that's what you fucking want to avoid.
Same thing with
That's
film
all this
school or
fucking
whatever
kids just
too,
talk about
right?
that. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing with film school. When you get there, I think that's like
One hu-
fundamental
yeah.
for any kind of art or whatever. Like it's important to, or a fucking sport, any fucking thing. You learn the fundamentals of it first, and then and then kind of branch out from there.
Yeah,
whatever.
because there are those like
You need a-
basic things that are like
need a
they're
foundation
very
to
like
build the house
skill
on.
based. It's not the
Yeah.
most artistic of shit to learn,
Yes.
but it's like,
Yeah.
well, these are simple like learning what your f-stop does and fucking your white balance and all that stuff. It's like, it's a pentatonic scale. It's like you should learn all that stuff, but it becomes second nature too.
And it is weird in like a art school, music school type situation, because it is such like an insular world when you're learning those things. So that is like, you know, like when we went to film school, fucking writing scripts and the format of that was everything. That was our whole fucking life for a year.
Yeah.
And then you're like, so everything fucking revolves around that. And then you fucking go out into the world. And if you're like some people like stay in that world, but then for me, I think like where the biggest benefit is then like taking that into the world and adapting it and making it work for you, but still having that foundation. For sure. You know?
Totally.
For sure.
Yeah, I think of like to build off anything. If you're a naturally creative person, then like you're gonna go like you're still just gonna make shit or whatever, right? But I think what kind of gets me or what turns me off when I see a lot of stuff is like the ego behind it. A lot of people want to be like, it's great to it's better to have written. Like nobody likes to write. Yeah. Right. It's much better to have written. Yeah. Right. But because it's a laborious process, and it's, you know what I mean. But like you really have to massage that thing to get the story out of it or whatever. And I think that a lot of that comes with, you know, with music or like any kind of art or whatever. We see it a lot in comedy. I think where some of these people would just rather be like in the scene or something like that rather than actually like, you know, like really, you know, giving a shit about comedy and like progressing, you know, like the art form.
Yeah, people that just want to do like their same fucking 5 minutes for however long. You know,
my little sister Jen said it one time. She's like, there's people that would like rather talk about music than listen to music.
That's 100%. That's usually the theory nerds.
Totally.
It's just like you like to talk about it, but you don't ever really play, and that's just weird to me because I'm like, that's a complete. I just don't get off on that at all.
Yeah, that's not like, to me, that's not like loving the art, you know. Like even if sometimes it fucking sucks to like sit down and force yourself to write new jokes or whatever. Yeah. But that is like part of the whole thing. That's like arguably the biggest part of the whole thing. It's like actually putting your thoughts out, or you know, whatever your expression is, actually putting that to paper. And then, you know, the fun part is getting to, you know, go on stage and workshop it and kind of fine tune that like foundation that you've already created.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And give it up to Ween.
Yeah. And to be able to do that for every fucking genre, like that's just like so crazy to like wrap your mind around.
Yeah.
Because like like artists that are so, I mean, when you think of like the, you know, the artists that are at the best of their genre, like the Jimi Hendrix or, you know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers or or whatever it may be. And no, but then how you get so good at that is doing like honing in on your craft. And so to see like a band like this who is at such a high level and can do fucking anything, it's crazy. Like I can't even imagine having that versatility.
Yeah.
Time for your second record, you brought in a fucking banger. First record was a fucking banger.
Yeah. Fucking speaking of Parliament, we were, I mean, not to bring it back to Red Hot Chili Peppers, but we were watching this concert that they had.
Don't say it. Come on.
No, I'm not saying anything. We were watching this concert that they had recently, and it's up on YouTube. And at the end, fucking George Clinton walks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like wearing this big, like full on, like sequined suit.
Oh,
yeah.
And he produced Freaky Styly, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Can't remember a fucking single word to give it away.
He came in to give it away, the big finale, and he couldn't get through one fucking sentence.
It's like, everybody's chanting for Shantae. They're going George Clinton. They bring him up there. You can tell they're stoked and stuff, but it's just like, that's so goddamn cool that he's up there. But at the same time, too, for 80 years old, it's like, hang out in the back, man.
Fucking Anthony's like jumping around stage. Flea's doing like fucking backflips. George Clinton's like trying to get through one line.
It looks like he's like propped up with a marionette, but he's a legend nonetheless.
So fucking awesome though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good for him. He's 80.
That's wild.
Right?
It's wild he's still alive, to be honest with you. That guy died so many times. Like,
man.
Fucking crazy.
And he's got like a tight haircut and shit too. Like we didn't recognize him.
At first we were like, who is that?
I think he like resurfaces every like 10 years.
Yeah.
Just like has a different look.
Yeah.
You know, it's like get naked and then fucking crew cut.
Yeah.
Like a Pirates of the Caribbean curse is 10 years at sea, 1 day on land. George pops back up, about to get funky.
Yeah.
Right on. Do we have any final thoughts, or
Yeah.
should we land the plane here, guys?
Yeah, no, I think that was definitely one of like my more favorite albums that we've done on the podcast.
For sure.
Super
Yeah.
fun album.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone should go check it out. And check out all the Ween albums. They're like
Fuck yeah.
there's a lot of them, and they're all super good.
Is this your favorite Ween album?
Ooh, yeah. I would think. I think maybe just nostalgic wise, I feel like this is the first one that I really got like into. I know like. I think a lot of Ween heads will be like Quebec is like the ultimate Ween album, or whatever. Pure Guava as well, but like, and I love the Country Great. I mean, they're all really fucking good.
Yeah.
I think
but
there's
this
something
has
in
as many
everything
bangers on it as I can on one album. Where it's like I find the other albums, I'm like, okay, there's like 3, there are 4 that I'm like, I'm really fucking into. I love the rest of the album, but
I think White Pepper
front
is
to
that
back,
for me. Yeah.
So
White Pepper's
good.
fantastic too.
It is, but I think that like listening through this one, fucking so solid all the way through, and White Pepper really kind of like bangs the bananas and blow, and there's like a couple kind of hits on there or whatever. So maybe I have to go back now. I think that I'm not going to say anything because I think that this record just kind of gave me the push to.
There's other tracks on there.
Now
Like,
we have
every
to
time I
go
listen
back
to Chocolate,
and listen to all of it.
Yeah, every time I listen to Chocolate Cheese, I'm like, oh fuck, this track is also on this.
Yeah.
Oh, this track is also on this. Like, oh wow. Like,
Yeah.
When I was listening to it and Voodoo Lady came on, I was just like,
Oh my God,
so
dude.
good.
I'm just
yeah.
gonna get butt naked and turn that on.
Yeah,
Jackie's
it's
gonna
so-
be. It's just. Yeah. No, I'll send you some links.
Break out the company chair.
break out Johnny Jones.
I guess that's just my thing now.
But yeah, like you said, like I enjoyed like every fucking song on this album.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, no
super
stinkers.
solid. Yeah.
Definitely.
But yeah, thank you.
Once again.
Yeah, this was a
Good time, and
Signing off.
we'll signing off. Peace out.